I was actually in a keyboard class in the music conservatory I was attending for a couple years. I was supposed to be working on a scale, and I ended up playing those two notes, dun 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 dun, and I immediately abandoned what I was working on and wrote that riff, the chorus riff. Went home to our apartment and put words to it. The words came from the feeling I had because I was kind of in my first real relationship at the time. And it was just like the simplest thing I could think of, but it was also like the truest thing I could think of because it was real. We didn't know what TikTok was. They're like lip syncing to it. This person's making a sandwich to it. Like, I don't understand this. Downloaded the app, did the homework, and then it turned out there were over 1 million of them with the song on them. It actually took a while for us to hunt down all of the different sounds on TikTok, which were our song,
Right.
put our name on them, and then the stuff really started to flood in of like, oh, okay, who is this band? What are they up to?
John was piecing together a montage of like all of the biggest TikToks that have used the song. And we're realizing how many of them were like proposals. I actually started to tear up when I realized like the biggest decision in their life, this is the soundtrack to it.
Well, I will call you darling, and everything will be okay. Know that I am yours and you are mine, doesn't matter anyway. In the night, we'll take a walk. It's nothing funny, just to talk. She cared about me like a whole lot, and like I said, it was like my first serious relationship, and we just connected so much. Like, we used to Skype until like 4 a.m. During school, this is high school, and that was like during a school night. And for some reason, it was just worth it, It made me happy in a way that I hadn't quite felt yet. And I just got to the point where I was like, oh, like I want to make you like my darling, It's not just like, oh, I think you're cool. I thought she was gorgeous. It was like, no, like I want you to be kind of a part of me. Well, I have called you darling, and I'll say it again. Kiss me till I'm sorry, babe, that you were gone and I'm a mess. I'll hurt you and you'll hurt me, and we'll say things we can't repeat. I was thinking about when you get in fights. Sometimes the simplest things can make a fight okay, and they can kind of make it go away. And it's sort of like if you reach a stalemate with somebody and you realize that there's no way of getting past this friction than just saying like, hey, I love you. I don't care that you think that that's red and I think it's blue. That's okay. I just love you, and that's actually what matters more. And so Kiss Me Till I'm Sorry is like, I almost feel like that's me realizing that the energy between us, the time between us, is more important than like whatever we were just fighting about. And it's like realizing like, oh man, I'm actually really sorry that like I did that, because this is so much more special than whatever the heck we were arguing about. It doesn't matter. It's hard to feel you slipping through, my fingers are so numb. And how was I supposed to know that you were not the one? When you go into a relationship and you don't have any hesitations, and like, when you're that young, you don't really have any baggage from other relationships. Like, you kind of just are who you are at that point. You don't really know if this person is going to be that one. You don't know how this is going to go, which is why the relationship is so exhilarating and stuff. It's like, I'm going to go into this thing, I'm going to give it my all, I'm going to have fun with you, like this is going to be great, but I don't know how this is going to end. And so that part of the song, it's an interesting part, but it is really just in the same vein of like, this is my first relationship. It was new. And it ended up not being, like, I'm not in it now. So it's just, it didn't end up being what we all think it's gonna be, when we go into it and it's all happy and stuff. So put your hand in mine. You know that I want to be with you all the time. You know that I won't stop until I make you mine. You know that I won't stop until I make you mine. Until I make you mine, put your hand in mine. You know that I want to be with you all the time. Oh, darling, darling, baby, you're so very fine. You know that I won't stop until I make you mine.
until I make you.
That's vulnerability, you know? It's like when you start to get to know somebody and they do something that is a little out of the ordinary, which probably means they're starting to have feelings for you. You know, like if you say something and somebody maybe laughs like a little longer than they typically do, or than everybody else does, or they look at you a little longer than, it's like those are moments of vulnerability. And so I think that's when you're starting to get to know that person, and people express feelings in different ways, you know? Like not everyone's a hugger, not everyone's a kisser, not like, it's just, that's just the way people are. And so I think that when you start to get a glimpse of how that person is opening up to you and you see that, it's just really special. And like it's I think it's just a human connection thing, you know? It's like, oh man, there was something in the air right there and I can't even quite explain it, but I think that person is starting to actually like open up to me, like in a way that they're not opening up to everyone else in the room. It feels good. And I'm also like a very romantic person. Like I'm kind of a hopeless romantic. So I think in relationships, I mean, I've only been in 2 serious ones, but like I just, in the beginning stages, like I hold on to those things because they're unique to that person for sure.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ooh.
So one of the things I remember after we finished the song is I went over to her house, and she lived in this neighborhood that had sort of like, it had like a neighborhood pool. And we used to sit at this neighborhood pool, and I would open the trunk of my car and we would just sit there and talk. And one time I opened it and I had my acoustic guitar and I was like, hey, I want to play you this song because we finished it and I can't stop thinking about it. It's so cool. I played Make You Mine for her, or some acoustic version of it. And I remember after that, I told her that I was like, hey, this is like very largely about you and like what you and I are doing right now. And I don't remember what her reaction was. I mean, she was very sweet. So like, I'm sure it was like, wow. But like, what do you say when somebody's like, hey, this is about you? It's like, good. I don't remember what her reaction was, but I do specifically remember it was like dusk and I played this song for her. And I was just like, it was, you know, it was a love song. It's like, hey, this is about you. So she was kind of being courted by one of my best friends. And this is not going to remove the innocence of the thing. They were on the tennis team, which is funny because they were on the tennis team. He was courting her.